Okay, so now we are going to demonstrate a soft tissue release for the piriformis with Elizabeth in this lovely comfy side lying position. So you ask the client to stack hip on hip so she's not rolling backwards, so she stays nice and high on the hip. And then you're going to ask the client then to perform the clamshell, and then this then shortens the piriformis. We then go into the meat of the piriformis, and I can feel some tension there already. And what we're going to do is then we're going to then literally go into the meat of the piriformis. I'm supporting these bottom fingers with this top, and then we're just going to sort of literally hang on to it with the pads of my fingers, not digging my nails in. And so we go in and I hang on to the piriformis, and then I ask Elizabeth to exhale as she then brings the knee back down to the start position. Great, and rest. And how is that for you, Elizabeth? Could I go any harder, or do you think that was a great amount?
You can go harder.
I could go
good, but you can slightly harder.
Okay, so the key thing again here is to ask the client. So I went, I started off with a moderate sort of hold, and Elizabeth says she can take a little bit more, and so then I'll apply more work to releasing, to holding the lock. So the key thing, let's go moderate first. Remember, consider the baby here, and we don't want the mom being startled and actually being in physical pain. So now we'll try a second version with a bit more of a harder lock. So we go in, and now I'm going to add my body weight more, go on top of the lock, and now Elizabeth, exhale to close the legs. Good, and rest. Great. And how was that one?
Yeah, that was good. That was hard.
Yes, okay. Okay. Okay, so we're going to do one more. So when I increased my hold, when I increased the tension of my lock, then you saw that I came up and then I dropped more body weight into the lock. So that's a key thing. Then the work comes out of the arms, and then it's about applying the whole body. So here's the last one. The legs go into a clamshell to shorten the piriformis. I then come up on my knees and then drop my body into the lock. Exhale, Elizabeth, as you bring the knee down. Great, and rest. Great. Okay, lovely. So that's an STR release for the piriformis, and using the clamshell position for the legs to start, and then a return to the start position to finish the release for the piriformis. Give it a go, and again, be kind to the client. Start off with a light lock, and then ask her how that is. Can she take more? Does she want more? And then increase according to what the client can take and what the client desires. So position the balls underneath the glutes of the client, and then ask the client to actually find her own sweet spot. So literally move the ball to where she can feel the ball really on top of the tight piriformis. Great. And then once the client reports that she's hit her own sweet spot, so don't rely on doing this for yourself. Ask the client to help. So when the client has found the sweet spot, then you just guide her, and the key language here is to just allow your buttocks to melt over the balls. So with nice deep breaths, just allow the whole body to soften and allow the buttocks to melt over the balls. And here what we're doing is actually a form of ischemic pressure. by applying the tension, the pressure to the muscle fibers, and then engaging the breath and coaching orally, you know, the client to release and soften and relax. We then cause that relaxation of the muscle fibers. And this goes a long way to releasing tight piriformi. And although I've been nattering on, can you report, Lucy, what you can feel, what's different?
Feels like they've released a bit. The tension isn't so great.
Great work. And how long should you leave this? I mean, it's a wonderful way to end a session with a client. It's just lovely. Just add the balls, let the client melt over the balls, and that's the end of the session. It's a wonderful way to end a session. Okay, so that's ischemic release of piriformis using tennis balls. Now we're going to use the myofascial foam roller to just ease any tension out that we might have in the glutes. So for many people, especially postnatals or people that walk with their feet turned out a lot, there's a muscle deep within the glutes called the piriformis. And this muscle then can have an extreme amount of tension and become extremely painful. So we need to think consciously about our foot position, but also think about releasing the tightness in the piriformis. So we sit on the roller, and then to work here on my right glute, I then rock over onto my right, and literally, if you've got a tight piriformis, you'll feel the sweet spot where the tenderness is and tension is. And basically, again, you just roll until that tension becomes a lot less. So just back and forth. There's not a big range of motion, but you're just releasing that tension. And then you perform the same action on the other side. Again, you're in charge of deciding how much is enough, and you're just working on the basis in that where there's tension and tenderness, you'll roll until that feeling starts to dissipate. So that's using the myofascial foam roller to release tension in the glutes and piriformis.